Will Ashcroft, finally I get to meet you in the flesh, mate. I've heard all about you, but I haven't seen you since you're about that tall, mate. Since you're about 4 years old and you lived around the corner from me in Brisbane. How are you, mate?
Very good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Excited about the next few weeks and where it's heading? Yeah,
very excited. I think I'm in a lucky, pretty privileged position knowing where I'm going, so I can sort of relax a little bit and feel a bit bad for my mates who are sort of unsure where they're going to end up. So, no, I'm really looking forward to sort of getting to Brisbane and getting straight into it.
It's a great feeling on draft day, knowing where you're going. I was fortunate enough to have the same feeling 20-odd years ago as a father-son. It's one of the great traditions in our game, and it's unique to our game.
Yeah, I think it's unique, and I follow a lot of different sport. I love the American sport, and yeah, it's pretty incredible that a game here in Australia is unique to every other sport in the world. So yeah, it's pretty awesome, and I'm glad I can be a part of it, I guess.
Father of Will Ashcroft. How you going, mate? You proud?
Extremely proud, Brownie, and the way I like it, I want to be known as Will's dad now and let him forge his own career. But up to this point, mate, it's been brilliant. He's done a great job, and looking forward to the start of the journey.
Will is going under the father-son rule, one of the great traditions in our game and unique to our sport, or really to any sport in the world.
Yeah, pretty exciting. I think really lucky as well. Like, when you think about it, we haven't had too many father-sons come through at Brisbane, so it's good to start seeing a few of the young boys coming through, and I think DJ's young boy is going to be given a chance, Jasper. So pretty exciting that those guys get to come through. We've been retired a long time now, Brandon. Yeah. I've been retired almost 20 years, and you're probably 10.
20 years. So the wheel, the grey hair.
Yeah, you can, and it's getting a bit thin as well. Yeah, the wheel turns pretty quick, so it's exciting, and I think, as you said, one of the great things with our game that you can keep generations of boys and girls now going back through the same footy club. And now we've got a great tradition with Fitzroy, but now there's also some great tradition coming through with the next generation of daughters and sons coming through. So we're really excited, and we're grateful that we can still keep the name alive at the Brisbane Lions.
Now, your father, Marcus Ashcroft, obviously loved player at the Brisbane Lions, a champion of the Lions and a premiership teammate of mine. He's obviously had a big influence on your career, mate.
100%. Yeah, I've touched on it a little bit this year around. I think he's just been really good at playing that father figure role and just being that really good support network off the field. But also at the same time, he's given me a lot of great footy advice, and yeah, I've really valued that and take that in my stride. And yeah, I'm really, obviously really grateful for everything he's provided for me over the time, and will continue to provide.
To be truthful, as he dragged out the old tapes, just ran you through a few of his highlights.
Funny, I've always watched a lot of his stuff. Kara now sort of has a lot of the replays on there, so I've watched all the grand finals, a couple other finals. So, it's good to sort of go back. I wasn't born when he was playing, so it's good to sort of go back and have a look through what he was doing.
He's a ripper. He had about 15 kicks late in the 2002 grand final to help us win the flag, or at least hang on. His professionalism, he was legendary at our club for his professionalism. Now, when I talk to people in the industry about your game, everyone says how professional you are, so clearly Dad's passed that on to you.
Definitely, yeah. I really value what I'm doing off the field and credit what I do on the field to what I'm doing off the field. So, yeah, all that stuff that the dad used to do, I've sort of taken that and thought, yeah, doing everything in my power to be the best that I can be and crediting everything I do to what I do off the field.
Everyone used to talk about my professionalism, but he's taken it to the next level. He trains every day and sometimes twice a day. Again, that real driven characteristic that's going to put him in good stead for the future. Yeah, he knows what he wants to do, and I think he's got that continuous improvement inside him. He just wants to get better every day. And again, you need to have talent to play the game because the game's never been harder, but I think for him, to be able to continually work on it day in and day out, he's put himself in a good position.
Going to the Brisbane Lions, what's it going to feel like to... Now, I don't think you'd be wearing number 10. What's your number?
Hopefully number 8, I'm planning, so...
No, right, so you couldn't white-hand Richie and try and push him out the door and get the number 10?
No, I couldn't do that. It's too young. He's earned those stripes, obviously, so, yeah, can't push him out the door.
Well, number 8, well worn by Timmy Notting. I'm not sure if you'll be able to go as well as Timmy Notting on a footy trip, but hopefully you can go as well as him on the field and win a few flags. But it's going to be exciting wearing the number 8 Guernsey running onto the Gabba for the first time.
100%. Hopefully that happens as soon as it possibly can, but I'm just looking to the near future at the moment and making sure I do everything I can at the start of pre-season, leading into next year, and then hopefully in the pre-season leading into the game. I'm really looking forward to that opportunity when it presents itself, and just looking to the near future first to make sure I cement my position in the side.
You had a huge year Like your CV, your junior CV, we just focus on this year alone has been unbelievable. Really, to be able to captain a premiership team for Sandy Dragons here. You captain Vic Metro to win the national championships. You won the Lark Medal for the best player of the carnival, All-Australian captain, I believe, as well. It's an amazing CV, probably as good as we've seen in the under-18 competition.
Yeah, I think, as I've always said in the media this year, it comes back to what I've been doing off the field and what I did in the off-season and making sure I'm doing everything in my power to sort of drive myself to achieve those things. And I also said I place high expectations on myself, so doing all those things and striving to be the best I can be. And it's always good to reflect on them and sort of say, you had a good year and that's good, but sort of park that and sort of move on to the next junior.
Do you feel that pressure, though? Because everyone talks about you. You know, how good you are, and you're just going to walk straight in like Sam Walsh did, for example, and just dominate football next year. Do you feel that pressure at all? Yeah,
sometimes. I'm not one to feel the pressure hugely, but yeah, I guess it's always lingering, it's always there, and that's what I always come back to, just keeping your feet grounded and sort of trying to push the pressure to the side and just do everything you can as an individual, because pressure's always going to be there when you're playing in an elite environment. Try not to dwell on it too much and just accept that it's going to be there and move forward.
He's been well fired in the last couple of years, hasn't he? He's got a big reputation coming through. Have you been surprised by his development, his progression, and just the standard he's been able to reach at such a young age?
We've had a pretty tough time down here, as you know, in Melbourne with COVID. And I think Will's a very driven and humble young man that knows what he wants to do. So through that 2 years of hard COVID lockdowns, he was pretty motivated to get the best out of himself. And I think that's what we're most proud of, Beck and I, is that you need to have a certain amount of talent, but you've got to work at it. And he's worked at it really hard over the last 2 years. And even a year ago when, you know, he was touted as a contender and all the words that go with it, a bit of pressure comes with that.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think, you know, we're really proud that he's been able to stick at it and navigate his way through that and be able to take that pressure on. But he's a pretty level-headed young man and he's done extremely well.
Just want to spend some time on your strengths for a moment. Like, how would you describe yourself as a footballer? And not everyone's had the opportunity to probably YouTube you at the moment. There is some good clips on YouTube, though. How would you describe yourself as a footballer?
Well, as you sort of touched on Sam Walsh just then, I try and play how he plays, I guess, and his inside-outside game, I try and value that pretty highly, and so I can win the contested ball and match with the best on the inside, but also break the game open on the outside. So I think that's my strength, I guess, and what I sort of differentiate myself from others.
Yeah. And your opportunities for improvement, parts of your game you look for?
I think I haven't had a huge opportunity this year to play in a lot of different roles. I've sort of stayed in the midfield most of the time to help the team, so I wouldn't mind sort of, increasing that versatility and playing forward and getting those opportunities. And, just some defensive things I've sort of been working on for a couple of years now to sort of clean up and take that into the AFL.
Is there one part of your game that you still think you've got him covered in?
I used to do a bit of tagging when I was younger and also played in the back line. He hasn't done much of that yet, so I think I might get him on those two fronts for now. But I think over his journey he'll get a chance to do that. But he hasn't played much in the back line over the last couple of years.
What about your brother Levi or your sister Lucy?
Yeah, they love it. Well, Levi's got Dragons training tonight, first pre-season session of the year, so we all love training with each other. I'm sure when we're on the Gold Coast in the break, we'll be doing a lot of different training, and they're just as driven as I am, and they love it. So looking forward to seeing how they develop and how they come along.
Did the opportunity for you to play with Levi potentially in a couple of years' time, in the AFL together for the Brisbane Lions, did that sway your decision to sign with the Brisbane Lions as a father-son?
100%. I think it was a very big factor for sure, and I've had that experience this year, especially playing with him at the Dragons, and I was definitely one of the highlights of the year for me and for him, winning that premiership alongside each other. And that was that sort of 4 or 5 week block where we played some finals games together was so cool. And I think, reflecting on the decision, I think I definitely made the right one for a lot of reasons, but that's definitely one.
Yeah, was it a difficult decision?
100%. I think sort of touching on it before off air, we were sort of saying how much I love Melbourne and my family
so
loves it.
So your family's going to stay?
Yeah, they're all going to stay here, and I think it's best for their development, for schooling, footy, sport in general as well, for Levi and Lucy. So he's got his own decision to make from playing for the Lions or playing elsewhere standpoint. But I love Melbourne, and it was definitely a tough decision.
Now, what's been your involvement with the process? The agreement to come to the Brisbane Lions, it would have been a tough decision for him throughout the year, though, even though it's your old club and the opportunity to play with his brother Levi potentially in a couple of years' time, but still a difficult decision to leave the comforts of home in Melbourne here and move back to Brisbane. Yeah,
no doubt. And I think he's 18-year-old now and he's very mature and very level-headed, so we've let him just take the time, and he's done it all himself. I've taken a purposeful backward step on this and not been involved in it, because if he wants support and care, he knows he's got that unwaveringly from me. So he's been able to work through it. So for him to leave and go back to Queensland, I think there's that added carrot potential of playing with his brother. He played a few games with him this year, played in the Dragons Premiership, which he loved. But again, it just comes back to him being that mature young man who's been able to navigate his way through and at the right time, without being rushed, has made the right decision for him.
Typically, most draftees sign 2-year contracts. You've committed to the Lions for 4 years, so no chance of homesickness.
Nah, Queensland's home anyway, so...
Yeah.
No, it was good, I think, just to secure that 4 years was a step in the right direction, and that's stuff that's, that'll take care of itself over the time, but, happy to be there for 2 years and then 2 more years after that, which would be good.
Leadership. Now, leadership, people have spoken about your leadership, and clearly with your CV this year, you've been fantastic, winning captain for your state and for your club. Where does that leadership inspiration come from?
Yeah, one of my biggest heroes was Joel Selwood, I think, and especially his leadership. If you want to go a bit deeper into it, I think how he leads by example is something I really try and pride myself on, and he's the epitome of leading by example. And also for myself, what I've sort of developed leadership-wise was sort of having that care off the field as well for players. And I think it's important to sort of put your arm around people sometimes and have that personal connection and see how they're going off the field to eventually get the best out of themselves on the field as well. So having that good balance between on-field and off-field. Have
you built a connection with any of the guys yet? I know you mentioned Huey McCluggage before.
Yep. Yeah, well, I was lucky enough to the pre-season last year, so guys like Hugh, Lockie Neal, Jared Berry, some guys like that who I've sort of did a bit of training with and in and around the midfield group. So they were, awesome. And now I'm sort of officially at the Lions and we'll be there full time. It'll be awesome to, do that even further.
Will Ashcroft, it's been a pleasure talking to you, mate. I'm very excited as a Lions supporter now that you're coming and joining our club. Your father is a legend in the club. Let's hope in years to come we'll be saying Will Ashcroft's the legend of the club. All the best, mate.
Thanks, Brownie. Appreciate it. Cheers.
This has been a Fox Sports production.